Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures, and well, here we are at the beginning of autumn. Now we know autumn actually has 2 days. We have a meteorological one where all the weather and all the people that do all that sort of thing, they start on the 1st of September, so that's well gone, that's well over a month ago. But the real autumn, if you go by seasons, started on the 23rd of September this year. Now, surprisingly, it started at 9:50 here in the UK in the morning. Not quite sure why 9:50 in the morning, but apparently that's when the official autumn began. So here we are in the autumn. It's definitely changed over the last month. So since the 1st of September, we have noticed a change, and it's become, well, we've had frosts and we've had very odd days again, as we do as we enter autumn. We have rainy days, we have sunny days, we have cold days, and yet again we have days like today. It's really autumn. We've had a very peculiar start, a bit of a mist here. It's cleared, but we've got clouds, a little bit of rain, a little bit of, well, everything in fact. But I hope you're sitting comfortably, and well, we're still picking. But I know some of you are wrapping things up and getting ready for winter. So sit back, relax, come on, you know the drill. Put your feet up, have a cuppa, and welcome to today's show. Well, look at that. What a peculiar looking tomato. These are the beefsteak tomatoes that I planted, and well, they're really unusual shapes, but they've grown into a tomato and they're really nice. Had some on pizza last night, freshly sliced, popped onto the pizza. Absolutely delicious, and the smells are incredible. This is a little yellow tomato from both of these actually are from inside the greenhouse, and they've been protected luckily from the tomato blight. I can't say the same for tomatoes here behind me. It's definitely a war zone. They are going to be dug out. We're going to dry them off and then burn them. In fact, they might even go into sacks and take them off to the local tip. Get rid of them entirely from this area. Why they're still here? Well, I don't know really. I've been a bit busy, unfortunately. And that's a little reason why this show was delayed this weekend. But we're here. We're back. Stood here and we're still getting a few of the beautiful golden raspberries. I look forward to this next year because again we'll cut it back towards the end of this season soon, and that will allow new growth next year. Could possibly even wait a little longer. However, because the frosts are coming, the longer you leave them at this length, actually more of them get attacked by the frosts and do damage. And we don't want any damage on these plants, any of the raspberries that are around about into next year. In fact, I've just glanced across there, and actually we've got some more beautiful red raspberries on the other bushes, so we'll get those picked, which is fantastic news. Now, I'm going to stop talking for a moment because we're going to go across to Wakefield, and like myself, Darren in Wakefield is getting himself ready for the winter season, and he's been doing some digging over, and here's a photograph of one of his patches, well dug over, and that's now covered, which is great news. And well, you've had a fantastic season down with your tomatoes, and here's a picture of those. He's still getting loads and loads of tomatoes, which is brilliant news. Congratulations to you. I know one or two of my viewers, a bit like myself, have had trouble producing tomatoes this year. But again, I think because early in the year, everything was so wet and so damp and so cold, nothing really could get going in certain areas. You've got a beautiful shady, not shady actually, but a corner plot. I think it's slightly protected on two sides, whereas a lot of places are quite open and they get wind and rain and all sorts from all different directions. But congratulations on those. Winter crops, of course, doing brilliantly well. And you've got your cabbages. Look at those, aren't they? Magnificent, absolutely beautiful. Still under cover, very important, because if those pigeons see those, they'll still be down and have those. And well, as I say, just tidying up generally. But once again, and I know you've been wanting to do this, look at your pumpkins. Aren't they stunning? Absolutely magnificent. So let's hope you can keep them going right until the end of October. But if not, I'm sure you could make some of these soups and pies and all sorts you can do with pumpkins. Interestingly, my squash plants are starting to go orange. Yes, they're finally turning orange. In fact, here's one here. This is the largest one. It's slowly going, which is nice. The others, actually, there's another picture. This is a medium-sized one, and that's turning to. But the most beautiful orange squash, baby squash, is right over there. Here's a photograph of that. Isn't that amazing? It's just lovely when you see colour in all this, well, the drabness that comes with autumn. Although the colours are lovely, aren't they? The oranges and the reds and the yellows. In fact, speaking of reds, oranges and yellows, the sunflowers are trying their best. I've started cutting them now, the ones that are left, and bringing them indoors so we can enjoy them. They've been great out here. Funny enough, I came down very late at night, about 8 o'clock I think it was. It was dark. I lifted a sunflower up, and there on the sunflower was a bee, still trying to get the pollen from the sunflower. But isn't it magnificent that nature keeps feeding and keeps going right throughout autumn? Well, here we are. There's my greenhouse. And why am I here? Well, this is the fourth attempt that I've been trying to film about the wasps, which are just round the corner, the mini wasps. They're absolutely fine when I'm just walking by to my other shed in the corner, and they're fantastic. However, when I was stood there filming, I think they started to panic. And then, of course, I didn't panic, but I did when they came towards me. Would you like a shot of me panicking? Oh, well, why not? You've been here throughout these last few years. Here we go. Here's me being silly. They just seem to bombard me. And then I've had another couple of attempts. And, well, this is sort of a little flight path for them because they've come to the sunflowers here. So I've tried to stand on the edge so I'm not in their path. My dilemma is, what do I do with the wasps? I need to gain access now eventually to my compost bins at the end, and we need to prepare them. Oh, it's only a bee, we're fine. Prepare them. I'm a bit jumpy. I don't want to get stung, you see. Well, it's not a nice feeling. So what do I do with them? Do I lift the lid up when it's raining, disturb the nest, and hopefully that they'll move somewhere else? Now, where do they move? That's the problem, is it? Because there must be a couple of hundred, maybe 1,000 bees or wasps in there. And, well, where do they go? I don't want to just go into a different part of my allotment, or even somebody else's allotment, actually. Then we are heading towards winter. Will the really cold nights that are coming, the dampness, stop the wasps, and maybe they'll move somewhere warmer for the winter months? But that's up to the queen, is it? So I might have to seek some advice, because I know beekeepers, local beekeepers, if you get a swarm of bees, will come and take your bees away. They find the queen within the nest, and then once they get the queen, all the bees go with those. Maybe it's the same with mini wasps, but we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Now, why am I waving a big yellow thing around? Well, I've just been in the greenhouse behind me to have a look at my butternut squashes. They're not quite the colour I want them yet, so I'm going to leave them. Apparently you can do that, and that's fine. Just need to keep an eye on them. This is obviously one of the loofahs, and it's fairly solid. So I'm wondering whether I should have another attempt at cutting open this loofah and seeing what's inside. Well, win some, you lose some, and it's fell off the thing. It's no good now. I've learnt my lesson, having left the other two for a couple of weeks just to harden without being on the vine. And, well, should we have a go again? See what happens. Well, why not, eh? I don't know. I'll come closer. Here we go. It looks like a cucumber. Look at that. But then it has a framework inside. Unfortunately, they're not black seeds. They've been washed out and they're still here. So maybe I can recheck. I think I'll go back a bit. And, well, here we are. I think, see, the trouble is, it's not being coloured like a cucumber. And so they've got to be, but I must just be growing them wrong as loofahs. But I will wait and see how the others turn out. But I will check again and see if they need just to be left more, so they dry out inside first. It's, well, I'll get the seeds out of this one and we'll leave it to dry. Another experiment here on Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Well, as I battle on with my loofahs, I hopefully see you next time here on Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Thank you ever so much for watching. Darren, thank you for your photographs. It's great to see that while you're wrapping up your allotment, I'm about to start wrapping mine up in the next week or so. Tying it all up and getting it ready for those winter months, where we can pile loads and loads of good compost and manures onto the ground, encourage the worms to come and take it down into the soil for next season. Brilliant. Time to sort the loofahs. Ta-ra for now.